What's up guys, a ton of bacon here with more Katawa Shoujo. Check it out. The classrooms closest to ours are designated belonging to classes 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Well, it's a school. I mean, come on man, get good. Further down the corridor, still the identical doors, are rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. So right now we're getting school supplies for the festival, so we're stealing stuff. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? I know that feeling. Desks and chairs all around the room. A thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some eases in the corner, so that at least it looks like the right place. Easels. The room is flushed in sunlight from big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Ooh. Since this is the art room, you know who you're going to see here? The Secco boys. Hope they make an appearance. That'll be amazing. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light most visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Hello? Anybody? Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. A ghost! Oh, another girl! Sitting on the desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform, with a fork between her toes, a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. Ah, she's missing an arm! Well, no, I can see that. This odd way of dining seems caused by an apparent lack of hands, but... Lack? She does have no hands. But her presence here is what takes me back even more. Ah! What are you doing here? How did I miss her before? She's sitting way in the corner very still, but I still somehow took her as a part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. He just... So he thought that person was a bust. Just like, I'm just eating. You never seen this pose before? I'm not being too observant today as a whole. Yeah, this girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. Yeah, it's a little awkward if you ask me. I'm loving the music. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. You should finish your sentence. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Just like time stopped. Hello? The girl stuffs the forkful in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. That's very awkward. Hello, I was told to pick up some supplies from here for some festival stalls. I didn't think there would be someone here. There isn't. That's why I came here too. Fair enough. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? Oh, she jumped down. She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observations was false. You are pretty observant, I guess it does, but who are you? This girl is pretty straightforward, isn't she? Yeah. I'm Nakai Hisao. Oh, I'm Nakai. Hisao Nakai. I just transferred in on Monday. He said his name like James Bond. I'm Bond. James Bond. I'm Rin. Tezuka Rin. Rin Tezuka. Oh, there you go. Whichever one comes first. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are. Alright, she's got a sense of humor, so I think I have the right to joke with her. I don't know. That's very nice. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. It kind of bothers me joking about these matters. It doesn't feel appropriate at all. Same, because I don't know what to say sometimes. Well, I'm not trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is. She seems to have lost interest in me and now is gazing yearningly back at her food. Okay, I'm sorry I disturbed you during your meal. I hate when people do that to me. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you don't need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back. Go right ahead. But lunch? School's already over for the day. What word would you use then? There's no word for a meal you eat after lunch but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say. Dinner. The Rock has dinner because he eats like 8 meals a day. I don't think you were supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. Not unless you're a bodybuilder. Every 2 hours. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch will go to waste otherwise. I like her logic. Come on. I have curry. It's very delicious. She's eating curry with a fork? I ate it with a spoon. With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes, and with at least as much in politeness, she points it straight at me. So, Nakai, what brings you to this place? Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, the school from outside you look fine. Is your problem inside? Oh, this might be the first time he talks about his heart attack and his confession. I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out. Remix. I can guess. I'm good at guessing. Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of the issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. This is like the second time someone's asked you. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is a part of the social code here, as a teacher said. I wonder if people here could relate, probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, with an overtly competitive look on her face. Contemplative. Yeah, I can't talk today, I'm sorry. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. I think she knows. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side. Oh, she's meditating. I don't think it's anything in your head, and something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. Oh, come on, curry's amazing. The problem must be in your pants. Oh, how did you know? Okay, so yeah, like, I'm not that, yeah. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of moment statement, and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. She's funny, I like her. I think I might have reeled back even physically as Rin's eyes widened in revelation and astonishment. So I was right! There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing I could think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Arrhythmia. He finally says it. I said it, more like blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together and lowers at me, looking very disappointed. How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous. What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to let you down. Like, what does she expect me to have? STDs? You wouldn't go to a different school for that, or would you? I forgive you. Just I collect people, and a person with, you know, that kind of problem would have been really great. Collect people? Like human trafficking? People with different problems. Oh, so she human traffics people with different problems. Huh, so you just like go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. I like her attitude. I'm clicking with her. With little left to say, Rina resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away, but I keep thinking about what was said. It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition. All the other people have either known about it already or heard about it from someone else, or didn't need to know about it like every other student here so far, because some of the handicaps here are like obvious. Should I have told it as a natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Nisao. I have a very serious heart condition. That's like me. Hey, I'm a ton of bacon and I weigh a lot. Literally a ton. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? As if our disabilities would define us? What a disgusting thought. Yeah. Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. As I walk to the back of the room to pick the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. Don't do it, she's watching you. Her hair is a burnt auburn. Okay, this guy has a lot of colors in his mind. I would have said that's red. A burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. Alright. The boy's uniform and the lack of arms make her look very thin, almost scrawny. Well, she has no choice but to skip leg day, so, you know, Her legs are probably jacked. She's not particularly pretty except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs. Even when she eats, the distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how the sight could discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of the strange girl. So, do you always eat alone and this late? Or do you get the occasional visitor? Visitors, maybe you're my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof, if she's not horsing around. Yay, someone on the roof. Eating on the roof. She likes to do sports. Oh, it's the running girl. Running girl. Because she has no legs and they have something in common, missing limbs. And that's all I could think to say. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forks the last bits of her meal to her mouth. I look down at my haul and double check it with Misha's list. It seems I have everything. Oh, I clicked too quickly. So I think I have all these things now. That's very nice for you. Don't feel obliged to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway. Right after you eat, I will turn you into a cow. You need to do whatever you're going to do with the stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping. No comment. I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I'd have to be going. I'll catch you around, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. Yay! I feel that our relationship is at the point enough to get is at this point good enough to warrant this much. I was already trying to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine then, I'm Hisao. Then you are. That smug look in her eyes. I kind of like that. She's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, get out of here. Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but the intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. Yeah, see? Like, yeah. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple times, and I can't figure out why a pause like this just pops between us out of nowhere. See you later, Hisao. There's something like a tiny smile there in her face, maybe. Aww, she's smirking. She's so smug. I quietly back out of the room as I shut the door in front of my face. I whisper to myself, one intriguing person. From inside, I hear a muffled sing-song voice. I heard that. Ah! What did she hear? God, dude. Okay, she's slowly starting to annoy me every single part of the way of this game. And her music, her theme, like... I jump at the sudden appearance of Misha, who I had not heard approaching despite a completely empty hallway. Somehow she had gotten to jumping distance of me without making a sound. It briefly reminds me of Kenji's nutty theory about global feminist conspiracy, but I pushed that thought aside. It's all a conspiracy! Ah! Kagabushin! Ah. Shizune, standing slightly behind Misha, looks aloof as she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha is visibly excited. Did you sign everything to what I just said to her? No, wait, more importantly, who is in there? There's no club meeting today. He tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing it anyway. What are you doing here? You took so long that we had to come check what's wrong. That's no good, Hichan. She wags her finger at me scoldingly. Don't you dare wag that thing at me. I found plywood, but everything else is still missing because you are tardy. You know what? I have a heart condition. I feel like you can use your handicap in any situation. Hey, like, I can't move too quickly. Oh, sorry. I got the things right here. Was just going to bring them. I think you were up to some mischief, Hichan. Who was in there with you? I wonder. Misha signs something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. Ah, wait! Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. Wait, stop! She's sleeping. I can only imagine the shock she's experiencing. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, the insolence of daring to deface school properly by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. Oh, she's pouting again. And indeed, she stares at Rin, Frozen in place apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders from suppressed rage. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses by pushing up slightly, and slams the door shut, turning to sign furiously at Misha. Oh my god! She's signing like crazy! Maybe she did blow up and I can't understand it. Why are you guys so angry at me? She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin is sleeping on one of those tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness. If it wasn't for your ZR, I'd have different thoughts about you. Hello. Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door and takes a few eye winks to realize she might have trouble opening it. Uh-oh, everyone's here. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with half-interested, half-sleepy face. She's like, hello. Triple dot. Miss Tezuka, what do you think you're doing? You absolutely are not permitted to use school property for such a disgraceful activity. Sleeping's disgraceful? It sure is suddenly very crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular. That smug attitude. I'm gonna get along with her. It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune/Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs. Sign, triple dot. Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. Okay, we're good? We're good? We're not arguing? Anyway, how is your project going? Will it be done for the festival? Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure Shizune's cold stare is putting on her. Shizune, you just gotta relax, man. I keep wondering about that myself too. Triple dot. And we'll think about it later. Think harder. As Misha signs her reply to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown. Aww. Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It'll be a disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it. Oh, she's painting a wall, I guess. Rin nods assertively. We'll think more seriously. Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune does not. Doesn't, not even after translation. She just shakes her head, takes the materials from me, and takes off with Misha in tow. She's like, look at her face. She's like, I'm so sick of these people. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo. How rude. Yeah, right? It's true though. I must finish my project before the weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't. The end of the world as we know it. Like weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to unforeseen future. I like her. Not much bothers her. She's just like, I'll get it done. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm procrastinating, but it'll get done. Just like some people I know. I am about to ask what project she has and what are the apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the art classroom. Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand? This paint can doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it. She kicks lightly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping on. It lets out a dull clang. Being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy. Do you even lift? Yeah, sure. Where do you need to take it? Away. Thanks. And with that, he takes off to the hallway. Me and the paint can following since there's a little choice for either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now with Shizune and Misha gone, so we too leave towards the stairwell at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm, but at least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast. Oh yeah, that sucks. Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching, or maybe I'm walking weird because of the extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin. Oh, what's up, man? Ah, Mr. Nakai, what a happy coincidence. Tezuka too, of course. what's up, dude? This guy, the cool guy. He's got the cool guy song. Yeah, there you go. He nods courteously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back. How dare you? Then turns to me because obviously it's me who he had some business with. There's something I forgot to mention on Monday. I nod away impassively because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about the interruption either. Don't just put it down! Come on! It's about your medications. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects which might require adjusting dosages or even changing to another kind of medication. Thanks, I actually do need to know that. So we will do a few tests regularly, but what I'd want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean. Nausea, headache, anything, and come see me if something happens. All right. Like how she's looking back and forth, a good detail. So how are you? Everything fine? I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently this takes longer than my biceps can handle. You gotta lift more, but you can't. You have a heart condition. I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too. Teachers and students here. My parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school. Except this school. This is a small school, and both the student base and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least that's the feeling I'm getting. And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I have a generic answer anyway. Don't say anything. That's great. Also, one other thing. Wait, what was the generic answer? Great? What? My sources tell me that you've been at neither the school track nor even the pool, so I'd like to know if you've taken up exercising as I asked. Caught red-handed, I'm sorry. Of course I haven't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off on the track since the very first day. Yeah, you should have. You have people spying on me? Not as much. Not as such. I just happen to know a few people, but that's not the issue here. So don't try to slip out of it. Oh, you sly devil. Well, I was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise. Yeah, there you go, dude. He took my advice. Lift weights. I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times like a sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down on my arms painfully. So he half-repped a paint can. Alright. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, then comes back like it was never gone. Tezuka, would you give us a second? Yeah, get out of here. The nurse grabs me by my shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside. When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you're still on your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you is the habits are not easy to form. The more you slip and postpone, the harder it'll be. It's the same with everything, like dieting. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on? Wow, that guy just woke me up because he's right. It's all about habits, exercise, diet. It's hard to start. Once you get into it, it's easy. How could I say? I like how there's no no. I'm gonna say yes because yes, I have to stay. Because if he doesn't do this, or if Hisao doesn't do this, he could die. So yes, I will exercise. I will keep on a diet. Yeah, I promise, definitely. He studies me for a second and then shrugs, smiling again. This guy's like Tomoda from freaking Gekkan Shoujo. Okay, that's more like it. Tomoda! If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to jog a bit. Consultation? See you around. Bye. He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Rin, who's been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off them. Are you getting medications for your heart thingy? Were you listening? It comes out more. It comes out more. I can't say that. Than I intended, accidentally lashing out at her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. Yeah, you do. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidentiality too, talking about that kind of thing in public. But it's not Rin's fault, is it? I look up to her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Rin is just staring past my shoulder quizzically, her head tilted like a bird's. I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there is some inexplicable log that prevents me from being more upfront about this. Yeah, they're from my heart. You're still adjusting, man. First week. Will they make you better? No, not really. They just make me a little less worse. Rin keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to all this. At the hospital it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building, and Rin leads us towards the dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. The dorm is built on slightly elevated ground with a wall and a few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come or grow. It's probably the only inconvenient design in the school. The entire wall made of the same kind of bricks as the building itself has been covered with some sort of painting. Most of it is still mere sketches, quick lines drawn with black and white against the gray plastering that covers almost the entire length of the wall, but some places look a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands. I can't quite say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seem to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground, besides the wall. See, the left side is hardly off the ground yet. It's because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. So you slept. I have to work on it, but the guys from our class are helping with the negative spaces and basis surfaces whenever, which is a problem. Base surfaces whenever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people with hands. Not obviously. The reach is better and it's faster too. she's so out of just out of there. She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving a little with her arm or whatever of it there actually is to demonstrate, even though I got the point already. The white cotton of her sleeves flaps around, and it makes me think it could look sadder than it does. But it does make me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student bases special properties has in the past few days. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she lost me a while ago already, and just keeps on blabbering. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something I need to figure out, and then figure that out before it's too late and all hope is lost. Man, you'd sure like to ramble. Why would the hope be lost? Because paint has to be painted, and then it has to dry, and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. It takes time. She finally stops, apparently thinking she made some kind of statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So this is your project? You did this? Yes. Yes. All of it? Yes. Nice, but I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into the minefield of political incorrectness. It's okay, you can say it. I probably won't get mad. I blush really hard like a tsundere. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels that I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. Oh, don't say it! This is really awkward. Don't you want to ask? Okay, I have to say it. How do you paint without hands? See, I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet. I almost guessed that already, but isn't that hard to do? Well, it's like breathing, come on. You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm used to it by now. I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us has anything more to add to the subject. Okay, can we move on, please? The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I don't think it's actually pretty interesting. I want to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat? Well, paintings tend to be flat. Yeah, not like flat, you know, flat like some people are. No substance, no meat, where there should be some. I'm not an artist, so I wouldn't know. Okay, I get it, but I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name any artist or artistic terms, so I don't really have anything to say. Rin shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, "Suit yourself," without saying it, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there. God? I didn't think I'd get any actual work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little more before it's too dark. Help her! I want to get a halogen lamp like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any. Rin sure is quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Every pair of hands, especially hers. Why not? I'm not really sure if I can be of any help, though. It's just mixing some paints. You can do that, probably. Do you have motor control problems like, you know, those people who have some? Cerebral palsy, maybe? Not that I know of. I get it. Heart thingy has nothing to do with that. I actually calls it heart thingy. Not arrhythmia, heart thingy. She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't. Let's do it then. Alright, I'm helping her paint, dude. So she sits on the empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the content into shadow bowls for mixing. The thick paint flow lazily from the can to the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone color. Rin sets to work, every now and then asking me for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants precision down to the last milliliter before she is satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best. Oh, great. Add half a splash of green. I crouch down to pick up the can of bright green. The other green. This green. I can't really pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl. I feel like I'd have this type of problem. Like, not that one, this one. No, not that one, this one. Jeez, this is gonna be funny. This is gonna be really funny. No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. I can't. How much is a splash? Is green a good color to add? No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of smile appears in the corners of her mouth. Do you lack an opinion? Ouch. No, it's just that I have no idea. It's okay because I just got an idea. Add more white. With exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter. That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in your dream, but you can't remember it. Yeah, I know exactly what that color looks like. No idea. Maybe it's yellow. This is hilarious. I don't know why. Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Not that green, a splash of green. That's too big of a splash. Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works the details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Like, yeah, you did it! You followed my odd directions. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us say a word for the longest time. And even those short discussions soon evolve into a shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues. as if there was some need to conserve words and breathe and sound. Cool. Nightfall. We stay there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly. Shall I walk you home? Ah! End of the chapter. That was quick. That was actually enjoyable. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe. And let me know what other visual novels I should play in the near future. Thanks for watching, guys. Be safe out there. Stay gold.